Hey, what's up, wrestling fans, YouTube fam? Welcome back to another edition of the DaVon Show podcast. Thank you guys for making this your go-to spot for weekly wrestling breakdowns, hot takes, and everything between. If you're new here, smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video when it comes to drop. I'm your host, DaVon, with this week's weekly review for AEW Collision for June 21st, 2025, which was live from the Showwear Center in Seattle, Washington. Let's go ahead and get into the show review. Appreciate you guys coming through. Let's get into it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we kick things off in high gear and high fashion as you possibly can get. Thank you guys for coming out for this lovely review. We kick things right away into actual wrestling as we had Jon Moxley along with Wheeler Yuta defeating the likes of AR Fox via referee stoppage after Jon Moxley handled business and was able to put on a lovely rear naked choke and took care of business quickly. But in overall, AR Fox continued to be the MVP of part of the roster for 2025. Any match that AR Fox is in, he continues to put on a great clinic. And overall, this match was a lot of fun, a lot of prop spots, everything you could have got for. Even the hot spot for AR Fox was trying to come back on the defense, but in overall, he came up short. Jon Moxley then afterwards cut a lovely promo going into full details about everything about Hangman Adam Page. And he said what's good for business is for him to go away. But we got to see what happens with the whole entire development towards All In, as it's looking good, especially after the heels of everything that took place at Grand Slam Mexico. The show was prestige, it was great, and overall this match delivered up to get things back in a smooth transition when it came to Collision. Then we got to tag team action, which was not only a tag team, but it was everything you could have got for. I believe this was a big man match. It was an 8-man tag, as we had FTR members of Dax Harwood and Cass Wheeler, along with the Pro Sheeta, getting the victory over Daniel Garcia, Bandito, and the Paragon members of Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. This is the second time that the Paragon continue to lose to the Don Callis family in big fashion. Same with Daniel Garcia and Bandito. But in overall, this match was everything that you could have got when it came to the great transition. But FTR was just always continue to be on top of their game, getting the victory with the lovely Big Rig to secure the victory. But in overall, this big smash mouth when it came to all these competitors was everything you truly could have got for and more. Then we got to Mercedes Moné, who was interviewed by Renee Paquette in the Arena of Mexico, where she called herself the master of any game Storm was willing to play before taking her time for ticking to become the next AEW Women's World Champion. And overall, the promo was calm, cool, and collective. It was sweet. I enjoyed the promo. Mercedes continued to steamroll as she officially has 6 championships internationally from all over the world. Now she's looking to capture the AEW Women's Championship to add it as a footprint, as a stamp in the sand of being one of the greatest of all time. But Toni Storm is someone that Mercedes does not want to sleep on. But in overall, it's good for business, as this was the right pick to have these ladies go at it. But the situation is, will Mercedes become the ultimate belt collector, or will Toni Storm stop her and put her in her place? Then we get the singles action, Swerve Strickland against Shane Taylor. This was a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth. Even on the outside with Carlo Bravo and Shane Dean out there with Prince Nana, they were actually gambling while the match was going on. They even tried to get Tony Schiavone involved. A whole lot was going on, but Swerve took care of business and was able to secure the victory on Shane Taylor with the house call. But in overall, I feel like the infantry needed to align himself with Swerve Strickland. I called it months ago, but right now they're still aligned with Shane Taylor Promotions, as they seem like it's just flatline right now. But in overall, the match was calm, cool, and collected. It was good for wrestling, and it wasn't too bad as Swerve continued to steamroll, as it looks like he continued to go on his pace to capture gold once again. But the situation is, he still is looking to go buck cutting and solve the situation with the Young Bucks. Then we get to Toni Storm, who jumps back with her own promo after what happened with Mercedes Moné. She's called her out, and where she's empathized, she cleared her. She is not only some MFer, but she is timeless and said that if Monet made one false move, she would eat her alive. Storm then took off her red jacket, which was kind of like a homage to Carmen Sandiego, and said Monet is going to have to kill her to take the title away from her at All In. And she's being serious about it. She's a woman of her word, but in overall, these ladies should probably be one of the best matches of the night when it comes to All In. But in overall, it was good wrestling for everything you could have got across the board. But it was calm, cool, and collective for what it was. And I look forward to seeing what happens between Mercedes Moné and Timeless Toni Storm. Then we get to a big Smash Mouth match as we have the commemoration members of Mark Briscoe, Hologram, and Willow Nightingale defeating the likes of Tyra Valkyrie and MXM collection of Mansoor and Mason Madison after a lovely pinfall of the portal bomb directly on Mansoor to secure the victory. But in overall, the commemoration now is getting back in their winning column, but the situation continued to be a mystery or a head scratcher as Tyra Valkyrie is somebody that you really can use in a big way for your women's division, but she continues to feel like she's in the back burner, similar to the situation that's going on with so many of the women's talent. But hopefully they step it up and get things in the right direction. But in overall, it was an okay three-way, mixed three-way, and it was okay for Collision, as Collision always does this kind of programming, and it was okay for what it was. Then we got to Chris Statlander, who's backstage for a lovely interview. But she was confronted by Willa Yuta, and then when Chris Statlander tosses Yuta to the wall before Jon Moxley appears, and they bump into each other. But Moxley has some serious words for her. He said, "Never let anyone tell her who she is ever again." This could be a little tease for her to join the Death Riders, and I'm all for it. But I seem like they really are just dropping the ball with Chris Statlander. Do they want to have her as a face, or do they want to have her as a heel? But right now, the situation is becoming a very, very, very big oddball. I don't know what's going on with the situation. It seems like the creative part is just a cliffhanger, and they're just lost in the shuffle of what to do with Chris Statlander. Then we got to the biggest thing. We had a lovely brawl afterwards between the Workhorse and JD Drake. When they had the likes confronted with King the Big Bill. Along the lines of that, we end up having a big interesting one. We had Christian Cage and Nick Wayne coming out there to set the claim that they want to be the first father and son tag team champions in AEW to set things in motion. More importantly, we had a lot of other different detailed things that took place through the night, including the situation with Anthony Bowens. He had a miscommunication with Billy Gunn after another loss has been striking upon him. It seems like the tensions are brewing over when it comes to what's going on when it comes to Anthony Bowens. But what can actually happen when it comes to the situation? For my personal opinion, Billy Gunn needs to go with the Sons of Guns, elevate them to become the best tag team in AEW possible. More importantly, they're claiming to get back together. I feel like the situation is kind of like a mixed bag when it comes to the Acclaim. Anthony Bowens is like getting over, but overdoing it. And then when it comes to Max Caster, he's under-delivering. But when you put them together, it's like a nice communication, a nice contrast of chemistry, and it works well. When they were hot, AEW wanted to cool them off so quickly because they naturally got over. But they need to find a better solution for their claim, as right now, as them being solo acts, they feel like a lost cause right now. Then we get to the Jet Speed, Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight defeating the likes of the Gate for Agony, which is Khan and Tana Liana, with a lovely twist splash for the victory, as Knight was able to secure the victory over the big man and was able to get the victory in a good way. But one of the biggest things we had as well, we had the return of no other than one of the Golden Lovers after Bart Briscoe came out there after the whole situation when it came to everything that had took place with the Rainmaker. We had a whole lot that happened, but we had one half the Golden Lovers make his return, and he ended up coming face to face with no other than Okada, and it was great to see him back. What more can you get out of it? A brawl, of course, things breaking down, but the situation is he's stepping up for Kenny Omega after Kenny Omega got taken out. But Kenny Omega does have people that's gonna have his back. But more importantly, the situation continues to be very, very interesting. And I'm kind of glad that we finally got the return of the man that has been going for a while. I know there's a little bit of issues with the visa or whatever the case may be, but he is needed, and I'm kind of glad that he finally made his return when it comes to everything that he stands for. Kota Ibushi is the man of the hour. He can deliver, he can do a lot of things, but the thing is, when it comes to personality, I haven't seen that too much. But when it comes to in-ring work, he can go and do his thing, and you know you're not going to be disappointed. Then we get to a big one, which was the main event of the night, which was okay for what it was. We had Athena teaming up with Thekla and Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, who had the likes of Billy Starks there as a valet, but they defeated the likes of Thunder Rosa, Queen Anamanata, TJ, which is that nice mixed tag team of Ty Mello and Anna J, but Ty J, basically. They were able to get the victory with the lateral press to secure the victory after Velvet, of course, Red Velvet got involved and caused a distraction, and Athena was able to secure the victory. But the nice little trio now is Red Velvet's now aligned with Athena, and it's going to be interesting. Now, I'm intrigued. Red Velvet's now a minion now. We got to see how things turn out. But in overall, Collision was cool. But it was lower than SmackDown from Friday. I feel like this was a big letdown. I'm going to give it a 7.3 just for this overall show. But in overall, it was good pop of seeing Kota Ibushi making his return. Moxley talking to Chris Statlander, but of course, there still continue to be a hot mess of not knowing what to do with her creatively. FTR continues to steamroll past everybody on Collision. This is officially their show. When it comes to Christian Cage and the rest of the patriarchy, they're looking to capture gold again. But the big twist is on the injury is when we're going to get Kill Switch to return. When we're going to get the big man to return. But I know he's been gone for a while now. But Kip Sabian being part of that group is okay for what it is for right now. But the big man is big time missing from the group. But I'd like to know from you guys' point of view how you guys are feeling about everything. This comes to the end of everything that had took place for the lovely AEW Collision. Let me know what you guys are feeling about the developing stories with everything that continues to be pushed. More importantly, how you guys are feeling about the AEW's All-In card so far. And did you enjoy Dynamite and Collision this week? Post your comments down below, like, comment, subscribe. Until the next episode, it's a pleasure having you guys. You guys have a great one. Peace.